So I'm missing a thing. Shows how long it's been since I've done this. Yeah, damn, my monitor's dusty. Yep, blah blah, make backups. Okay, camera is on. My face is not, though. VTube Studio, why are you not capturing VTube Studio? There it is. I said VTube, not YouTube. Sometimes I really don't like closed captions. Actually, before I click start on that, going through what I'm actually doing, because it has been a while since I've done an art thing. I think in the past month I've streamed once, and that was a 4.5 hour thing of Deep Rock with Sheepa. Give or take a month or so ago, I bought the art school program from Mark Brunet on YouTube. It was like, I think 200 quid. Pretty decent because it was like a year and a half worth of self-taught content. And it's nice to actually have more of a condensed set of information. I know we had been working from, well, I say we had been. There was the plan to work from that one thing that was in the description, which was the big art plan. The only problem with that was that most of the stuff on there doesn't exist anymore. Well, some of it does, like things like Proco. That's going to be around for a while. It's great stuff. But there were some things like specific videos on Vimeo that if you went to look for it, there was none. Or there was one of them that was out of like what was meant to be like 50 videos, you could find one of them. So it really was not helpful as a way to, learn these things. When you're following through a term, it's like, go look for these videos, and they aren't there. So it's like, okay. I bought myself a nice big new like drawing tablet, like one that's one of the monitors that can actually like be put on a swingy arm, unlike the one I had before. But it was on offer to save me like 200 quid. So I figured, down to 200 quid, I'll spend on this art program. I was going to spend it anyway. I might as well go 2 for 1 on the treat myself. And so, week 5, you do get given some wonderful, like, things to work through for the year. It's like assignments for the figure drawing. Would help if I can actually, scroll properly. So the first couple of weeks, it goes through the first few daily practice ones. Last week it had these number 5, the proportions. I'm still not great at it, but I'm better than I was. And this week, it's 2 minutes, 2-minute poses on this number 6, and also do number 7. Number 7 is the harder one. because again, it's proportions, and proportions is not one of the things I'm good with, which is why I'm, having to make sure I actually, do better. The gesture drawings, I always have trouble with them because I'm still at that point with gesture drawings that I try and put in more detail than is needed. Especially when you get into like the 2-minute long sessions. It's like I could like knock out something in 30 seconds and be like, okay, that's fine. What do I do for the next like 90 seconds? So I end up putting in like more work that I don't really need to, probably. I have been like putting them in folders, so let's have a look at yesterday's. So I end up making them look more messy than anything. But again, I suppose it's a good thing to be practicing these. We've got another one that it was to do with the stacked boxes. For perspective, again, I can draw a box on its own, but trying to like stack them, it gets messy. And then the last one was like going from photo reference, like try and use like actual parts of like the reference as a measurement. So things like knowing that like on this top one, the top of the back of the head lined up with the back of the buttocks and the front of the back knee. Kind of helped work out what to do next. Again, I'm not great with these. Also, why am I unstable? I just noticed that the stream is unstable. Poor network connection. My network hasn't changed. Hang on. Let me do the usual thing that might be causing an issue with this. You would have thought I'd have looked at this 7 minutes ago when I started streaming, but I didn't. Because I didn't expect it to be a thing. Because OBS is saying it's fine. And Twitch, however, is not saying it's fine. So which is true? Oh, now I refresh the page, it says it's excellent, so it wasn't actually a problem at all. Never mind. That was a waste of my time. This is going to be one of those VODs that I end up deleting again, isn't it? So yeah, those are like the fundamentals that I've got to work on this week for this art school thing. Another one is like taking art and doing studies on them. And the way that nearly everything I've watched online from like creators that know what they're talking about do the trace first, remove the background art, and then try and copy what you traced next to it. So in this case, we have this piece, which is, here you go, all the other internet people that don't do this, credit the artists, The Voidful on DeviantArt. I went through and I went and looked for this person today when realising I might do this on stream. Because I grabbed this on a whim, because I liked the pose and I liked the art. Didn't make a note of the artist. Because at the time, I didn't think anything of it. It was like a month ago, possibly longer. I think I originally noticed it when I was looking up bread golems, which makes perfect sense because of Sheepa's Magic University thing. I was going to do a baker that had golems. I was looking for some art reference. The only place I know that's done them well is in the anime Wakfu. Well, I say anime. The animated show Wakfu, based on an MMO, which had bread golems in. Did a Google search, found some like nice looking art to show Sheepa what I was talking about. Also found this. Saved it thinking that'll be cool. I just want the pose reference for later. I'm never going to do anything else with it. When to do this today, I'm like, I can't stream this without saying who I found this from, because it's really like the piece. So we had to go through so many key phrases, because the original one I searched for didn't bring it back. So I had to go hunting through all the various keywords I could think of related to Wakfu to bring this piece up. And then I found it via a pin on Pinterest, which thankfully credited the artist. Which again, The Voidful on DeviantArt. So the first thing was doing the line art, because all it is for now, for the studies for art school, is just line work. So trace the line work. Second step, hide the original piece. So it takes away all the excess noise, so you can just focus on what you want to be studying. In this case, the lines, the curves, how are they doing certain things? Because yeah, in this case, there's a lot of hair here. When it comes to most things, you're probably looking at, the head. Being like this. That is a lot of hair compared to what most reference things would say the amount of hair is you have. I mean, maybe it might be a little bit bigger because it is like a almost top-down view. But even so, that's what these studies are for. You look at them, you try and work out why they've done things. It may just be this character has a lot of hair. I haven't seen this character in the show, apparently since I last watched it, which was like 2 seasons worth. There have been another 2 seasons that I never bothered catching up with, because I figured the series had just ended. So yeah, we'll be going back to that, because like I say, I have started trying to work out what it is, and I can already see that I screwed up this bit right here. So I might just remove this and start from scratch when the time comes to do it. But for now, the fundamental art grind, because that stuff is the stuff I need to do. It's got all the stuff in that I need to learn more of, need to practice, need to get better. Hence why, in the top corner, we have Muscly Lady. And we will have her for another 1 minute and 54 seconds whilst I try and work out how to draw her. Or at least gesture draw her. I can't clip studio. Stop trying to do a recover whilst I'm in the middle of a stroke. So I know that some of the things that I need to work on is the shape of limbs. Because I know for the most part, arms aren't like that. They're more like rounded near the top. Not quite like that, but similar. And to make sure we didn't anger the gods of Twitch, I made sure to choose the clothed options only. It might be art, but they're notorious for making stuff up. Hey, Sentai. It's Sentai, little guy. How are you? Yes, if anyone doesn't watch Sentai, they should go and watch Sentai. Because Sentai is a cute little bean who plays robot games. Me and Sheepa did watch Godzilla -1. Was it last week? Week before? Basically, when it popped up, when it actually showed up on Netflix, I think like maybe the day after it showed up. Because Sheepa loves that film, and I'd never seen it. And you know what Sheepa's like when he has a thing you want to watch. Well, he wants you to watch. He will make you watch it. The question is, has Sentai found another robot game on Steam? That is the question that everyone needs to know. Because you find so many really interesting little robot games on Steam. Also, hi Brunel. Yeah, in terms of like the Godzillas that Sheep has made me watch, he made me watch Godzilla versus Kong first. So that should show you where my baseline lay, because I had never watched a Godzilla film before in my life. I obviously knew of Godzilla, but I never watched any. So to start with, he started me on Godzilla versus Kong. I don't even think it was the first Godzilla versus Kong. Thinking about it, I think it was the second Godzilla versus Kong. Yeah, giant monkey. So watch that one first. Got the baseline of this is a really, really terrible film. Why are you making me watch this? And then he got me to watch -1, and I'm like, oh my god, if you have a director that knows what they're doing, you can make a really good film out of Godzilla. Yeah, I think it's the Godzilla vs Kong from this year we watched Sentai. I say it was the sequel one, where Godzilla was already Godzilla had been like stuck in the sea, and Kong was sent into the Hollow Earth because you know we need that conspiracy to be a thing that's put in movies still. We recently went through the Batman trilogy, and that sure was a ridiculously boring trip through memory lane. I mean, honestly, if the same director gets to do stuff that did -1, that could be really big to make Godzilla interesting again for people. Because it wasn't a Godzilla film, it was a good film that contained Godzilla, which is what they need to do. I'm trying to remember if he. I got a feeling it was. I can't remember whether or not it was 2 or 3 Godzillas that he got me to watch. I got a feeling he might have had me watch Shin Godzilla, because he doesn't shut up about Shin Godzilla. See, he could have made me watch that one as well. The problem is I'm really bad with movie titles. So honestly, it would not surprise me if I've completely forgotten. I think actually he might. I think it might have been 3 Godzillas, because I'm sure I said I've never watched a Godzilla film before, and then had to say, oh, hang on, wait, no. We watched Godzilla vs. Kong last week. I'd forgotten about that. I have suddenly realised a really tough thing about trying to do figure drawing using the clothed option on line of action. You can't see any of the limbs, which is what I'm meant to be practicing. So I can't draw fabric. That hasn't been on the list of things to learn yet. Go to the next one. Give me something with more detail. Thank you, that one's perfect. Godzilla Puppet Show. That, I don't know. The only thing I know about Godzilla on YouTube is that Sheepa found a Godzilla ARG a month or so back, and he said it's so bad. It's like, I think the premise was that the actor died in the suit and became one with the suit, and it was like, is this just Godzilla but Five Nights at Freddy's? And there's a part of me that does want to watch it because it sounds like it would be hilariously bad. But Sheba said no, it's just bad, bad. It's not even like funny bad. Yeah, I think the man in the suit one. Because we do try and keep an eye out for like interesting ARGs that happen through the year. Because we do the whole thing around Halloween where we'll like do a watch along with like crediting like, yeah, we found this ARG. It might be one you might want to look into. We watch like maybe 1 or 2 episodes, and then go, okay, do a little bit of like generic analysis of like, so far it looks like it could be pretty cool. It's got this going for it. It's got this going for it. If you like it, go and do, go and watch some more, and then we'd go on and do some like another ARG or whatever. I mean that's why there's still the spooky stuff channel in Sheepa's Discord. It's like if people actually find interesting stuff. We've still got like last year's to go through as well because Sheepa's internet died on Halloween last year, so we couldn't actually do what we wanted to. Yeah, that is what it's meant to be spooky. Me and Sheepa do like a good ARG. Unfortunately, it wasn't the router that was haunted. It was the internet service provider just having a fit for some reason in like his entire area. Which really was a shame because I think we'd been planning it for like a couple of weeks at that point. And then Halloween morning rolled around. We got about 15 or 20 minutes into it, and then it just died. Which really was a shame, to be honest. Hopefully this show goes a lot smoother. I'm really not looking forward to the time when this art school thing's like, hey, it's time to actually do anatomy properly. Because then I realised that this arm is like twice as long as it should be. But I only have 2 minutes. I have 50 seconds left to finish it, so I can't fix it. I have to live with my screw ups. Yeah, anatomy is not fun. Especially if you ever have to learn the names of things. Because scientists don't like giving easy names. Why would they ever, like, give easy names for things? That would make life easier for the people that aren't scientists. How did June just now? I mean, like, well, I can say, like, the one thing I remember that has the weirdest, and I'm going to pause the thing so I don't. The heart has its own natural pacemaker, which is basically a little tiny bundle of nerves that zaps the heart every however many seconds to make your heart beat. It's called the sinoatrial node. I'm sure that atrial, I'm assuming it's attached to the atrium side of the heart. Sino, I'm sure that has some Latin meaning to do with electricity or nerves or something. A node is just a place. So I'm sure that there is a logic to it. Yeah, and pacemakers basically replace. Yeah, if your own like sinoatrial node starts fucking up, that's what can cause heart rate issues, and that's why you have a natural pacemaker, your natural one replaced with an artificial one. Yeah, is you have one basically installed into you that takes the place of the natural one. They turn off the natural one and just place a new one on there and just say, okay, it's working now. Let's hope there's never an EMP nearby. That is one of the most terrifying things I've seen in zombie media, or like end of the world media. An EMP has gone off. and suddenly people just fall over because their hearts have stopped because no one questioned that these people had pacemakers. Also, no, Ace, I haven't beaten Art yet because they keep on adding DLC called Get Good. And it's like fucking challenges constantly of trying to like get better. And I've got a feeling that they're going to milk the franchise of Art until I'm dead. Or possibly until I've at least milked enough money out of it I can buy an island. It might have been L, Ginger. I didn't know Fallout had a TTRPG. Other than the one you were trying to like cobble together. But it might have been L or someone else from the server. Art is easy, just draw Godzilla. Pause. You. There you go, Ace. Art is easy. A Godzilla. Did I say Ace or did I say Sentai? I don't know. I'm losing the plot. And I just did what no Godzilla film has ever done. I managed to destroy Godzilla. Using the almighty power of the delete key. I like how this website I use for gesture drawing has kind of gone full ham with its models. Most of them all have the same kind of model, which is generic model-looking person. Whereas recently, line of action have been added in not only plus-size models to get like plus-size drawings in, but also like really muscular ones as well. And quite frankly, it's great. Because at some point, I will have to learn anatomy. As much as I hate it, I will have to. And being able to like get some of like these pose references where you can see like the muscle definition in the arms is going to be amazing. I have not looked forward in the course to see when anatomy turns up. And honestly, I don't want to because I'm scared. That's why I'm really glad that we have the fun menu music from Diddy Kong Racing. It makes the fear melt away. Has it? Let me crank the volume up because it is meant to be there. It is flashing up as green on my OBS. So let me crank that up a bit. How about now? See, the problem is I haven't streamed with music for like over a month now. You heard it earlier. That that's weird. So like I say, it is actually flashing, and it's like the same volume as me when I'm talking, maybe a bit lower. At least according to the thingy stuff. Right. Let's try that again. Go. Do the music. Also, geez, I look away for a moment and we just get these. Yeah, I've boosted up the volume in OBS a bit, and I also refreshed the source just to make sure it was still looking at the right thing, which it should have been because it was giving me the green bar audio thing on the volume mixer. I know at some point, I think I've got it in this playlist. In fact, I think it might be after Diddy Kong, so I might. What? I've took it out? Oh no, we can't be having that. Hang on a minute, hang on a minute. I need to go and find where I put that and put that back in the playlist. There you are. Honestly, there's like one person, and I assume it's going to be Sentai, who knows where this comes from. Right, I'm starting that pose again. Because I went to find the Bomberman 64 soundtrack. The game itself might not have been great, but the music was fucking amazing. You'd like to watch me draw poses from the old medieval fencing manuals. Yeah, I knew Sentai would love this one. It's 44 minutes of pure, beautiful music. Whilst a strange man goes around bombing cities. I assume that Bomberman 64 is actually about Bomberman becoming a terrorist, because I can't remember anything from the game apart from you go around towns making things explode. Also, I've screwed up her proportions by making her too short. I'm too busy talking about Bomberman to think about proportions. Which is fine, because that was actually the last one I had to do. Let's quickly get away the one that looks a bit too much like Fetish Fuel, which is just like someone just having complete like latex stocking over them. Let's... Okay, so now that that has gone, it's automatically removed the thingy, which is great. I don't need to hide that. Right, next thing of fun is going back to this. Because I do not want to do stacked boxes yet. Stacked boxes can wait until after I've done the fun stuff. Because fuck perspective, I want to study this cool piece of art, which once again, I must remind people, is from The Voidful on DeviantArt. It's a great bit of art, and just show that again. If anyone likes Wakfu, nice bit of fan art someone did. I really like it. Hence why I'm doing a study thing on it. And as explained at the start, I went hunting before stream to find out who it was actually from, because I saved it like 2 weeks ago and forgot where I found it. I haven't played Bomberman in a long time, but that's for Sentai. That's the... Wakfu is just... It's one of those things... The story I can remember kind of. The setting has some of those like silly things where you're like, oh, so you've named this race. It's like, the Zelor. They know how to use time magic. It's not a coincidence that their name backwards is Rolex, is it? It's one of those kind of shows. No, I just drew you Bomberman Ginger. Which, technically, yes. Again, I will remind you that this one here is not mine. It is simply the line work traced from the Voidfalls one so that I can study it. I am not taking credit for their work, because they are way fucking better than I am. I wanted to study this pose in particular. Because if you replace the sword with a long gun, it kind of gives me the sort of Andlith vibe from our D&D campaign, Ginger. So it's like, I like the pose. It gives me Andlith vibes. I want to learn how to do this. Because at some point it'll be really neat to do something for L and just draw Andlith in this pose rather than just a generic standing one, which is currently what is being worked on in this file. That was just for Ginger. That was that was just for Ginger. I like how I like how it's just. I'm looking at the delay on the other screen, and it's about 30 seconds off. But yeah, this pose in general just gives me like major Andlith vibes. And since I'm really enjoying the whole drawing random things from the campaign, whether it be as a meme drawn like in 2 minutes in Discord whilst the campaign's going, or something more, you know, substantial like full character portraits. I'm enjoying having something I actually want to draw that's not for anyone apart from me. I mean, granted, okay, yeah, everyone else in the D&D campaign is also enjoying them. I hope. But I'm drawing them because I'm enjoying drawing them rather than me thinking other people are going to like these, therefore I will do them. Which a lot of stuff I have drawn before has been. And another thing I've got the proportions wrong on, it's you. Let's go whoop. I always mess up my curves. Make them shallower than they need to be. Yeah, one thing I know that this one had that I haven't noticed on a lot of them is some of the lines were thicker on the outside, which I don't normally do. Oh no, Ginger's talking about guns. Warning, run for the trenches. We love your random historical knowledge, Ginger. We just like taking the piss. For the record, Twitch, I haven't broken my elbow. He's having a funny. He's not being mean to me. He is in fact what people would call an friend. But yeah, I liked the vague pose on this one. It did give me the Andlith vibes and makes me want to like try and do an Andlith image, but in this pose with the outfit for Andlith and then swapping the big sword out for a big gun. Because I do believe after the last session, Andlith has turned her weird demonic sword thing into a long gun. We don't even know what the sword is. We just know it's a sword that likes to drain the life from things. Oh, that's where the Jezzail thing came from. I had no idea. I just thought it was random gun knowledge you were dropping on us. I didn't realise that that was actually what those things were called. She just mentioned it to me as like a long gun for like Rip Van Winkle from Helsing. I'm like, okay, I know what gun you mean. Which is why I have also got the reference image she dropped in Discord for it as well. I'm also having to be very careful which of these tabs I open in Clip Studio because two of them have tits. Two of them are other studies that I've been working on, but they are like nude studies. This is the one that I chose to do because this is the one that is nice and wholesome and Twitch friendly. I think you've already answered the question for me, Ginger. Yeah, if I do actually use this pose for something to do with Andlet's character, I think what I'd end up doing is swapping the weapon arms around. Maybe doing a full-on canvas flip and having the gun in this arm. Unless she's holding it here with the barrel, it doesn't really... I don't think it would work as a gun. So I'd have to probably rework the arms to either have the one out like it is, have her left arm out to the side, and then rework what she's doing with the other hand with the gun. Or just rework it in general so that the gun is going across. And she's got both hands on it. Step 1. Finish designing Andlith's actual costume. Oh no, the hand problem is rearing its head. Hands are not fun when you don't know how to draw properly. One tiny bit of excess on that finger can really make it look stupid. Also, doesn't help that I did that too sharp. I did that as an actual curve. There is a reason why with Clink I drew one hand and then decided, you know what, I'm just going to hide the other hand behind her back because that's where the knife is. And it makes sense. Don't question it. And Clink, he has frog hands. I didn't try. I'm going to redo them at another point. At some point I'm going to re-go through Clink and redo his hands because this looks like a silly little hand. What you didn't notice before, though, is look. You have your gem with the actual rune on it. I had to go through several of the VODs to actually find the damn runes. Oh, damn, this Bomberman music just goes so hard. It was actually the first Bomberman game I ever played. And I thought they were all meant to be like this, and then I played like any of the others, and I was like, are they all just top-down 2D? Are they not all 3D? Glean Clink, we both know they have the same problem. We just keep calling the names wrong. It's not going to help now that Clink also has a second name. It will probably never come into play. But the second name exists now. Right, now for the fun part. First of all, boom. Second part, how badly did I screw up? A lot. Yeah, perspective's off in most of it. So I think the head isn't actually too bad. Like the head and the arm. If we ignore this part, and just go with this, that's not too far off. The face position is a bit weird. It's like individually, they're fine. It's like that eye kind of matches. That eye matches. The mouth almost matches. They're just all wonky. Then they don't line up with each other. The hairlines are close, not perfect. But this is the fun part of doing the study this way. It's the 3-step plan, essentially. Is you start off with your base. You find the image you like. And you like, I want to know how they drew that. I want to figure out how they did lines like that and whatever. And this is perfectly fine as long as you're not trying to pass it off as your own and you're trying to learn. You are allowed to trace things. Notice how the first thing I did was say, this isn't mine, this is the original person's art. I am studying it. That is what, it's perfectly fine to do that. So I went over and traced the bits that I wanted to learn more, which is the lines. The second step, hide the original. Then you just have the stripped down, bare bones version of what you want to learn to do. Then, off to the side, you try and recreate it based on what you're seeing. Like you were drawing from like a photo reference. And try and understand how they did it, try and get the proportions right. And then when you've done it, you do the overlay. You look at what you fucked up. So like I say, the hair itself, not too bad. Individually, the eyes and the mouth are not bad. They're just mispositioned. It's like if that eye is in line, this eye is not in line. So what should happen is this eye should be further down. Well, see, that's the thing. I'm trying to copy what I see. And the hard thing is trying to match what you see with what your hand is doing, which is why doing these studies is a thing. It's like I've totally messed up the legs here. Yeah, the feet are in the right place, but the leg is the wrong shape. It doesn't match the pose. And the same as this, the leg is way off to the side. It does look like you say, like I've like shifted it. It is like the next frame in an animation or something. It's not what I wanted it to be. Because I was trying to get it as close as possible to what the pose actually was. Because, like I say, that's the point of trying to, study the pose, study the line, work out what they did, try and recreate it. I mean, I suppose the better option would be matching it against the actual original. Let's change you to a more obvious colour. Yeah, that makes it a lot more obvious that I completely missed what I was aiming for. The lines themselves, not bad. I just got the positions wrong. The scales wrong. The starting points wrong. But that's fine. I've not done many of these studies. I think I've done like 6 of them. And I got like two in the middle on the go. Nope, it definitely was not that one. It was not that one. It was not that one. Ignore that. Ignore that. This VOD is definitely not going to be published now. This is the problem when so many of the really nice line arts are nudes. It's not a good thing. I couldn't do those on stream. But I don't want to stop halfway through them. But it's fine. I wasn't actually planning to have this one going on anyway. No, nothing. That was nothing, Ginger. Don't look at anything. You can clip it, I will delete it. Simple. If you really want, I could just send you the original, Ginger. Because I have it in my I have it in my studies folder. I have an entire study folder of, let's face it, 90% of it is furry porn. Because it's good. It's well drawn. It's got some really clean line work to it. Therefore, I want to study it so I can draw that stuff and have people pay me for it. Unlike what's on the screen at the moment, which no one's paying me for, it's just me doing it for fun. What I should have done is, let's see, it would be under Art Study, Term 1, Study Refs, because I have actually put them in separately. Oh wow, I haven't actually put that one in my study refs yet, never mind. This one will be fine. This one will be fine. This was one of the ones that I did. One of the first ones. Terranen, if anyone's a furry, you know Terranen's work. They're fucking incredible. We did the first one, which is the trace copy. the freehand copy, and then I drew some corrections over it in green, and then I tried to turn it into, yeah, obviously Cherry. I tried to turn it into the good old Bat character, using the same sort of pose, same sort of lines, tweaking it here and there, trying to. It failed miserably. It looks fine. It just doesn't look anywhere near as good as the Terranan's work, because Terranan has been doing this for years. I haven't. I'm not going to kick myself for that. But yes, I've done. I think this one is number 7 completed. I was meant to do, I think, 5, not last week, the week before, and I ended up doing 6. And then this week I got another 5 to do. And so this is one of them. And like I say, it's not terrible. If nothing else, this practice is good for knowing what your hand can do if you practice. Because, something like this, if I looked at that and said I drew it, I would think I'm lying. But my hand did do these lines. Granted, they were traced. I'm not hiding the fact that is, because it's part of the studying. I traced them, but my hand-eye coordination allowed my hand to do these lines. Therefore, if I work at it and get better, I should be able to make lines like this without having a reference at some point. Which is why things that you do, the hand-drawn, like the separate copy, to try and work out how it was done. Try and get your hand-eye coordination matching. At some point, what I'm going to end up doing is going back to ones like this that I've done before and do a second hand copy based off the original traced version. And that way, let's say in however many months' time, bearing in mind, I think it's like a 2-year-long course that I'm working through. If, say, after 6 months, I need to see how have I got better? Do I need to judge myself on how I've got better? I can go back to one of these that I did within the first 3 weeks. Try and redo it. I can just pop a layer over here and just go, okay, you are now blank. Redo whatever the thing is that I'd done before. And then I can unhide and match it against what I did. Because theoretically, in another 5 months' time, after I've done it for 6 months, I should be able to do this again and get closer to what the original is than I did before. You would hope. After having that much practice and having to do stuff daily, that's what you would hope. I'm also going to delete Bomberman. He has no use here. I like how it also did an autosave just after I destroyed Bomberman. It's like, no, Clip Studio agrees we should delete Bomberman and save the canvas. Right, the other things I need to do today were the stacked boxes, which is really fucking boring. I'll tell you that much. Because it is literally, hey, can you draw a box in perspective? Yes. Now, Draw another box on top of it. Preferably trying to keep to the original vanishing point. Rinse and repeat until you hate boxes. But luckily, I'm not too bad at this. I'm not great, but I'm not terrible. I mean, I can already see that I've, like, fucked up the lines a bit on... I mean, this one is fine. This one then doesn't match because the vanishing line of this is... like there. Whereas these ones are very, very much off. That one's fine, but the top one isn't. So yeah, still needs practice, but I'm not going to force people to go through that on stream with me because that one is tedious. So I'm going to go and put on some, like, random stuff, possibly, like, an anime or something that I can have on in the background whilst I draw boxes. And it's fascinating, by which I mean it's not fascinating, and I'm not putting you through that. Let's have a look. Is the person I'm thinking going to be online? No, they're not. I wonder if Finn is still having internet issues. Because today, I think, was meant to be a Sonic day. Yeah, normally he does Sonic and Shadow, like the Shadow Tuesdays. And I would have thought he would have been on by now. He normally started by now. And I was going to raid him. But he is not here. And there's the police. They're coming to find Ginger. Right, in that case, is there anyone else online I can raid? I think I did just see that Suzu was on, I think. No, just show me who I'm following. Yes, Suzu's on, playing some Gundam. I'll send everyone over to Suzu. I haven't been able to raid Suzu in a long time. Oh, Suzu's had a makeover on the VTube model. Right, I'm sending you all over to Suzu, who's playing Gundam. Have fun.